Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It is just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast. That means it's time for another episode of Shop Talk. A little bit different this time because we're coming to you sort of live from Arizona Bike Week.
Kind of, sort of. That's why it's on time.
Right off the rip, huh?
So, come on.
Lots of stuff to talk about. Sorry you guys have missed us for the last 2 weeks. We're going to try to make that up here in the next few shows because we have so much stuff. I know.
We've been to
Donnie Smith,
we went to Mitchell, and we've
Dennis
been,
Kirk visit.
Yeah, Arizona. We're getting ready to head to Texas Fandango next weekend.
That's Texas.
So
next
excited.
stop. Next stop, Texas.
Yeah, buddy. Choppers and old lakes.
Lots to get through. So let's start off with that. So obviously next weekend from here, Texas Fandango. Yep. That's the big news of events. What are some of the other events that are coming up in short time that we can talk about right now?
For us, or just motorcycling?
Just motorcycles in general.
I know Born Freeze in June, and Backroad Barbecue Run is in May, and cheaper. I can't even think.
I put you on the spot, huh? Aren't you supposed to be the events girl?
I haven't looked at events in
Oh, that's why it's not on time right now.
Whatever. We've been traveling together for weeks now.
Years.
He tried to kill me yesterday.
Yesterday we went on a snow-covered ride through a mountain pass in the desert, believe it or not.
He tried to kill me.
Lots of good stuff coming up in the feed here. Hey, and that's a good thing to talk about. So we have some killer new stuff that's hitting Grease and Gears TV.
I know.
If you're not hip to that, greaseandgearstv.com, go check it out.
Not ampersand N.
It is the Netflix of motorcycles. In the meantime, we got a great show tonight because this is our annual, third time we're doing this one, our annual Friends Throwdown program. So
this year it was the
Secret Friends. Secret. It was a secret.
Secret Friends Throwdown.
Secret Friends Throwdown. The preceding? No, not preceding.
Preceding the following.
The previous.
Oh, previous. Yeah,
the
so
PR got me
right,
screwed up. The first 2 years of it were FXR Friends Throwdown, Chopper Friends Throwdown.
We didn't build a bike this year. We got a rock.
Yeah, losers.
We got a rock.
I got a rock.
I got a rock.
So the theme actually was a freestyle. Build whatever you want, bring whatever you want. There were some great bikes, and we're lucky enough through the gracious nature of Ari from Law Tigers, Jason Mook, Paul Yaffe. They stepped in for us because we weren't going to be here in time. Actually, nobody knew that we were going to be here.
Right.
So we snuck in.
We kept a secret for the Secret Friends Throwdown.
It was a secret. So at the last minute, Brian Vanessa Clock loaded us up in their vehicles, trucks,
gave us
planes,
a beautiful
trains, automobiles.
motorcycle to ride.
We get to ride this beautiful Jack Daniels Indian Roadmaster.
Awesome. I might not give it. Do we have to give it back?
But what the show is about tonight, try to stay on track, please. What the show is about tonight
is the Secret Friends Throwdown. It's not a secret anymore.
So we have a new host for tonight, and we're going to see how he does. Mr. Jason Mook, take it away.
Hey there, everybody out there in motorcycle land. My name is Jason with Deadwood Custom Cycles, and I am your substitute host for Cycle Source's Shop Talk. Chris Callan could not be here, so we're stepping in. I'm coming to you from Winslow, Arizona, with several of my good friends, talking about the Secret Friends Throwdown, which is number 3 Throwdown, starting back a couple years ago with the FXR Friends Throwdown, moving to the Chopper Friends Throwdown. In no particular order, I have co-founder Paul Yaffe Originals, Paul Yaffe's Bagger Nation, Adam Sandoval, Big Rick Hoffman, R11 Bomb from the Law Tigers. I got Steve Reed from Steve's Garage, Brandon Hoffman from Logic Motorcycle Company. I got Jeff Zielinski from NAM's Custom Cycle Products. Nick Trask from Trask Performance. Justin Ohms. Damn it, I knew I was going to screw it up. I like Ohms. Justin Ohms from Stellar Cycle and Harley Davidson. Corey Ness is with us from Arlen Ness Motorcycles. He's crashing this year. Doc Dustin Smoot, another comeback for the Throwdown. And then we got Joey, new timer, and then Curtis motherfucking can I say that? Motherfucking Hoffman from Hoffman Designs. And we are here in the beautiful La Posada Hotel in Winslow, Arizona. Gonna get back on bikes again and head down to Phoenix for Cave Creek Bike Week.
Some of us.
Some of us are. Yeah. But we just wanted to. Did you really?
I did.
God, I love it. We just wanted to take this opportunity.
Special delivery.
That's my wife, Charlie. God bless her. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Cheers to Charlie.
Cheers, Charlie.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
We just wanted to take a second and talk to you about this ridiculous thing that we came up with a couple years ago, strictly by accident. Brian Clock of Clockworks is not here yet, but he's also a big member of this. Chris Callan, your normal host for Shop Talk.
He's with him. Yeah, say he's with him.
Well, I'm not going to call Clock out on video or anything, but Clock's late to everything. And Chris Callan happens to be with him. But it's okay, we love him. So, a couple years ago, I full-heartedly challenged, for lack of a better word.
You said foolhardily, right?
Yeah,
I thought that.
full-heartedly.
Well, I just want to make sure it was finished.
Is that
Full-heartedly.
In 2021, Paul Yaffe was in my shop. I was building a cool FXR. In my opinion, it was a cool FXR. And I thought that just for Instagram content, that it would be fun for Paul and I to do a build-off. And nobody in their right mind challenges Paul Yaffe to a build-off, but I did. And I called him out on Instagram in a loving way a couple weeks later. And then a couple folks jumped in on it, like Jeff Zielinski, Curtis Hoffman, Brian Clock jumped in on it. I mean, it just...
Nick Trask, too?
Well, I called Nick Trask, and he didn't even hesitate.
We knew about his FXR sickness.
Yeah. So, but he didn't volunteer. We guilted him into it. And those original six, then with the help of Law Tigers and R11 Bomb wanting to build an FXR, we did the FXR Friends Throwdown. We had so much fun with it that the following year we did the Chopper Friends Throwdown, and we had several crashers like Brandon and Big Rick Hoffman and Steve Reed, who was a crasher on the original FXR Friends Throwdown.
Beautiful FXR, too.
Beautiful FXR. And then Justin crashed last year. And so we had so much fun that, all good things happen in threes, and we decided to do it. And this year, instead of making it a specific type of bike, we said, we're just going to make it the secret Friends Throwdown and basically build whatever the fuck you want. And that's what we did, and that's why we're here. And so in no particular order, I would like for these guys to talk about what they are bringing to the table and what's out in the parking lot. And I just want to say that if I don't get to speak again, I am honored to be in this company and this caliber of bike builders, and you.
Whatever you are. All right, somebody.
That's your cue.
Oh, it's me. No, I'm going to go first. So what, I just introduce myself?
You have to speak.
Yeah.
No, I can't do the compliment. I'm Paul Yaffe. I have a custom motorcycle shop in Phoenix, Arizona. Paul Yaffe Originals. And I have a brand, Paul Yaffe's Bagger Nation. Anyway, I built a BMW this year, an R18, which is one of BMW's new touring models. And we chopped it and stretched it and perverted it and made it 10 feet long, and we're going to see how it does tomorrow. It's going to see its first canyon life tomorrow. So it's putted around the streets of Daytona successfully. So I'm feeling fairly confident that it'll make it down the hill.
Could you? Well, and I know, but I want the world to know. Could you speak a little bit about the challenges that came along with customizing? Some of the hurdles that you had to overcome.
Other than I don't know anything about BMW.
Yeah, and you don't know one metric tool other than 10.
I can't even spell BMW. So, so It was challenging when it comes to BMW is very tight-lipped about their proprietary information and their engineering and so on. Even to me, even though they hired me to do a bike, they're still like, yeah, no, you're on your own. We can't tell you how to do that. Yeah. So that was challenging. The overall design aesthetic of the bike has this huge 1800cc boxer motor.
Started out as an aircraft.
It really, yeah, it is. It's true, and it is just massive. And trying to bring it into proportion was a challenge. Was the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest challenge was trying to make it look like it was supposed to be there. So we had Ron at Metal Sport wheels. Took a 650-pound plate of aluminum and cut me a 26-inch by 5.5-inch front wheel for it with a 180 tire. Cut it all from a solid plate of aluminum. There's no forging for that size wheel yet. And then he had, there's a company in Thailand called V-Rubber that makes a lot of these big bagger tires and stuff. Well, they made him a short run of these kind of one-of-a-kind tires. They're not one-of-a-kind. I think they made him 10, so it's 10 of a kind. 26 180 tires. Just, again, that's how trends get started, right? You make a few and you stick your toe in the water, and so he was all excited to make the wheel for it, and it helped put the thing in proportion, and then we wanted it. We had this idea to make it look like an old 50s, like a lead sled, like an old Merc.
And it does.
Like that's what we wanted it to look like. We wanted it to look like a 51 Merc, and so that's what we kind of went after. And then Joey at Top Shop in South Dakota had this crazy idea for this set of bags that instead of convexing, they kind of concaved, or maybe it's concaved instead of convexing, I don't know, but they curve this way instead of curving that way, and he was just, kind of playing around with these prototypes of these bags, thinking about making them for Harleys, and he sent me a set of these bags that look like, to me, they look like the rear quarter panels on a 51 Mark. So anyway, we grafted them and onto it, and it turned into this whole thing, and that's what we're going to write.
And it's beautiful.
Thank you. That's
That's
very nice of
beautiful.
you. Thank you.
And here's Jeff.
Well, true testament to what you said in the beginning. It's such an honor to be around everybody. Not only you guys friends, but I looked up to a lot of you guys in the years that I've been in the hamsters or been building bikes. So it's a lot of fun. It is a great challenge to get to do this with everybody. And this year I did a digger, which is one of my favorite designs. So what I tried to do over the last probably 10 years, I've been collecting parts for this bike. Whether from, I got some stuff from Corey, from Arlen, from Dave Perowitz, and from Donnie Smith. And my goal was, not on that one.
It's fucking cool.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's really cool.
I tried to make it look like it came out of the 70s or late 60s. And I should accomplish. Thank you. Thank you so much. That means a lot. But the only thing I can say consistently is the third year in a row it still doesn't run. So at least I'm consistent.
Hey, we're going downhill though. You'll be fine.
Right. I am consistent. The last thing I want to try to do is break in a brand new pan motor. And honestly, this is something that meant so much to me. I don't even want to joke around. It meant so much to make the closest thing I could to a digger, so that I can look at it every day. All I want to do is bring it and put it in my office and stare at it every day. I don't want anything to happen to it. It is something that it's such a piece of art. Not what I did, but the digger itself. It came out exactly like I wanted, so I'm just thrilled to death to see it on, done, and it'd be great to ride, but
You gotta put gas in it.
it does have a little gas in it. I got it to kick over twice, but I don't want to take the chance. So I'm just thankful that I can be here with you guys, and it means a lot. So thank you for having me.
But you are riding along.
I will be riding
In the van.
I'll be riding Corey Ness's van, and when I get to Cave Creek, I'll have my road glide that I did for Daytona.
All right, moving on from that, we have
You can drive the van.
probably the pretty friendliest man in the group.
Oh, thanks, Jason. I appreciate that.
It's not your turn yet,
He needs no introduction. We are graced with the presence of Adam Sandoval.
Oh man,
Adam, talk to us.
those are two hard people.
I give up the substitute host.
Nice.
About time.
I love it.
Made it. About fucking time.
Where's Clock?
He's right behind.
Get over here, Clock.
He didn't catch me.
Chris, we got a spot for you.
No, I'm good. I'm just Well, don't push him.
So for those of you just tuning in, Cargo, don't spill my beer.
Slow. Go ahead.
Way to go, buddy. Way to go.
Come on,
Filling
buddy.
in for your
Nice,
dad.
Cargo.
All right.
Thank you.
At least we got one Clock here.
Cargo, you talk more than your dad does.
And that's how motorcycle generations are made.
And there he is. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Clock.
Hey, 3:30, 7:30, yeah. Hey, Brian.
It's Amsterdam.
Sorry. I can sit around.
Nope, right here. You and Cargo right here. No, I'm standing up on my...
Thank God, I was stressing about the Clock impersonation. Yeah.
Come here, buddy. Come on. Hey, Cargo, come here.
So, where we were just a second ago, we are joined by a huge motorcycle personality, a guy that logs more miles than most people do in 10 years. He does in 6 months. Adam Sandoval.
Couple tough acts to follow here. First of all, I don't know I really belong here. I'm not a builder. I don't pretend to be a builder. What I do is I support builders. I test builders' equipment on the road long distance. And
Are you hired? Are you riding tomorrow?
I am riding
And
tomorrow.
you're here. That's
I have a friend that graciously, Shelly from Arizona. If you guys, any of you have been through Arizona, you all know Shelly Martin. She loaned me her personal motorcycle so I could be here and be part of this with y'all, because if I've learned one thing about riding long distance, it is that you need to surround yourself with guys who know how to work on motorcycles.
So did she give you the Honda Rebel 250 or the 450?
I've got a beautiful road ride. It's very nice. Yeah, she built it great. It rode great up here. I rode up from Phoenix today. Rode some snow-capped pines.
Beautiful.
Came into Windsor. Yeah, just gorgeous. And I'm honored to be among so many people that are experts in their own fields that really fuel the motorcycle industry. My job is just to ride those bikes and then share them with the world on social media. So my job is just to be a voice for you builders and test your stuff and admire your art, because that's what you all do. I have this much artistic blood in me, but I can admire it, and that's exactly what I do. So thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Well, this is a good time to point out, I've been asked probably 300 times in the last 3 years, well, who won? Who won the throwdown? And the answer is nobody wins. Nobody gets a trophy. It's not about...
Are we all losers?
But it's not about who has the best bike or who, in the opinion, is who wins the trophy. This is not what this is about.
This is more valuable.
Exactly.
Than any prize.
That's what I was
And
going
I
to
know
say.
that's where you were going.
Camaraderie, brotherhood, riding handlebar to handlebar with some of the greatest people I
This is
know.
the payday right here.
Yeah, that's it. And now we will hear from a man of many words, Nick Trask of Trask Performance.
All right, that was it. And next,
Brought to you by Nick's Words. Nick, what do you got?
Who's going to translate?
Right.
here we go.
I have never been around a bunch of 13-year-old women, guys.
Really? Is that how you feel?
They text each other more, and these group texts they're all night long.
Did you get my text
long.
Because you never
I
respond.
never respond.
No.
I can't get it off my phone.
This is the first time we've seen you or heard from you since Daytona.
We all went to the Winter Nationals, so we seen him there.
You were there?
Yeah, we were there.
Hey, Nick, what are you riding tomorrow?
I got turbocharged, big power.
Golden.
Why turbocharged?
Yeah. I would have never guessed that.
Just out of curiosity.
I don't know. I don't know, but I know we built Road King. It's kind of my sort of stuff I like. It's my style. It's long, it's stretched out 4 inches, and it's more of a road race bike. And
Is it fast?
It'll stretch in your arms. It'll pull your arms off.
Nice.
Makes just shy of 300 horse. It's turbocharged, 143-inch motor, and I don't know. It's cool. I like it, and I don't give a fuck if you don't like it.
How do you really feel?
No, man, that's been my attitude since day one. It's like, you know, it's worked. It's worked, and you know, we go through these things. We all have our own styles. We all have our own passions. We're all passionate about motorcycles. We love them. But we all want no one wants to copy each other. We all want to do our own thing, and that's what makes it so cool. Is we all appreciate each other's bikes. We appreciate the style. We appreciate how they built the quality and what it took to come up with that piece of art. Right, so we're not going to knock that guys off. We're going to come up with something that we feel proud about. We're going to personalize it, and we're going to come out. We're going to show what we can do, and so that's something that I have. That means a lot to me. Is I want to do something that's different than anyone else, and hopefully everyone likes it. But I don't really care. But you know what I mean.
And Winslow is one of your favorite places on the planet.
Did you promise not to call me at 3 a.m. this year?
No.
Nick's curfew is 10 o'clock, by the way.
Did you bring some Jesus juice?
You know,
You promised you were going to bring.
I got one question.
Get on your back.
All right, next builder that is part of a father-son team that was here last year for the Chopper Friends Throwdown is my good friend, and I'm going to say it, although I've said it 3,000 times to you, I am really fucking thankful you're sitting here and with us, is Big Rick Hoffman.
Rick. Yeah, you guys, when it crashed last year, you didn't explain. But anyways, you know, I'm retired, and Brandon's doing all the building and stuff now. But the bike that I have here this year, my wife, everybody knows Mike Cole. You know, that are in the hamsters. This is a bike that Mike started about 10 years ago. It's been sitting around.
Soggy, thanks.
And so, you know, it's a tribute to Mike.
It's huge.
It's a shovelhead, so, you know, you're going to have to wait on me, all right?
This makes me miss being in the room with these cast of characters. This is one of the best parts of the Friends Throwdown program is everybody coming back together, you know, and the inspiration that goes into stuff that they're building. I love that. But for now, we're going to take a break from ShopTalk in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. We appreciate them leaving the back door open so we can bring you a program
amazes me.
every Sunday at 9 p.m. on the East Coast. And right now we're going to take a look at a cool feature bike. We'll be right back.
Out of Focus is brought to you by Garage Build. Submit your build, share your passion. Powered by Dennis Kirk.
Hey, I am Rick Dozer. We are from Saneyville, Kentucky. This motorcycle, actually, the front end is a Denver's Chopper's front end that I got for Best of Show in 2022 at the Smokeout, which was super cool. What a humbling moment for me. I had a 1916 board tracker there. It won Best of Show. I got this front end and brought it home. And so, all right, now what are we gonna do with it? So, obviously, Denver's cycles, Denver's chopper lends itself to a 70s style chopper. So here's what we ended up with. So, Daniel Heeman, contacted him. He built a stainless steel frame for me. to fit the front end. Got a great look. To me, it's a killer stance. Got about a 1/2 inch of rake in the frame itself. And we fully polished it, and it's got a 1960 pan head. All stock except for a B-grind cam. So not too hot roddy. This thing is really made to put some miles down. So you got a 6 4 Baker, got a late model Sportster gas tank, and chopped 5 inches out of the front, 3 inches out of the back, kind of narrow it. But I always kind of love this shape, this that's in the Sportster, late model Sportster tank. So kind of accentuated that with the paint. And so anyway, the idea was kind of, let's build a 70s chopper that's super clean. So try to hide all the wiring, all custom hardware, stainless stuff. You can see front end, back end, axles, really cool, like wheel spacers, everything covering up the hubs. So that was kind of the idea behind the bike. It's got a Kirk Green did a bare bones choppers seat for it, and the paint is actually from Casey at Casey Customs. And so it's got a pretty cool, I think anyway, tank divider kind of piece. Looks cast. It's not really cast, honestly. It's billet, but I do a lot of casting, but I can't do anything that big. So if this piece is actually billet, but lots of custom stainless component hardware all throughout. Try to hide as many nuts and bolts as we could, and so we got a TC Bros air cleaner, but it's got a lot of custom stuff done to it with a rib and a flange welded on around it. But pretty much everything else is a handmade and one-off type stuff. So this is Rick Dozer. We are at Cycle Showcase at the moment, but you are watching Grease and Gears TV. And don't stop, keep it up.
The only thing standing between you and the open road is some garage time with the right parts and accessories to make your motorcycle roar. And that's why riders everywhere choose DennisKirk.com, the one stop you need to get your Harley back on the road. Our knowledgeable tech staff will help you navigate our more than 185,000 parts, apparel, and accessories that are ready to ship today, with free shipping on all orders over $89. So tune up your ride and get ready for the next adventure. Ride more, wait less. Dennis Kirk.
Hey, I'm Ron Fleener,
All right.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay, we dropped his
Please Color Factory, you're watching Shop Talk.
renamed him.
Hey, it's Billy from Twisted Tea. We're live in Sturgis and you're watching Shop Talk.
And now we have Justin. Last name begins with a U. Not going to say it.
Justin Owens.
Your name is Justin Ohms.
Right.
Justin was a crasher last year. Built a killer West Coast chopper frame chopper. Yeah, it was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And he loved it so much, or he's just that kind of a glutton for punishment, that he decided to come back this year and join us again.
Yeah, well, I appreciate being back, and last year I was a crasher. I did build that West Coast, and I think it was one of 5 that made it down the hill, so I was pretty solid on the first year. I don't know what's going to happen this year. I brought a 92 Daytona Edition Dyna. Really neat bike, one of 1700 built, and I put my own twist on it. I know Jeff just bought one, and it's kind of a bike that you maybe don't mess with, but I can't leave good enough alone. So
We mess with everything.
Yeah, we mess with everything. So I put brakes on it, put some motor in it, made a really cool one-off fairing for it that was called Match to the Tank, and
That was awesome.
I really hope everybody enjoys it. It's a really neat bike, and since I wasn't here for the FXR Throwdown, I think that was the closest thing I can contribute to being part of the original. So just happy to be back again, and you know, like all these guys are going to say and have said, you know, what happens in this room is more important than the metal that we bring here. So most of these guys we can call anytime we want, and they'll answer a phone call, they'll support us, they'll support our business. Brian, you know, amazing with his thought and relationships are everything. It's the truth, you know. I mean, we're all in this for the love of riding, but the friendships are really what bring this really together. So today I got the chance to ride up with Adam, which he's been in my store plenty of times, and we had a great ride up, and we're gonna have a great ride tomorrow. So,
amen.
Appreciate being here.
Right on. And then the sponsor of the Throwdown from the beginning and also participant, Ari Levenbaum from Law Tigers. Talk to us, Ari.
Thank you again for letting me come to the event. I appreciate it. I'm not a bike builder like Adam. I'm an enthusiast, and you know, I remember probably 10 years ago when I first started getting more active in my business. You know, being admirers of all these guys, you know, and just really looking up to them, what they did, because I've always been a fan of custom motorcycles, and I never thought that I'd really have the opportunity to sit here and call these guys my friends, and you know, just the relationships that I've been able to develop with these guys are so priceless and valuable to me, and you know, whether they build bikes for me or we go on vacation together or just shoot the shit on the phone, it's very special to me, and I'm just so thankful and grateful to be able to be here. And you know, you guys are the best bike builders in the world from my perspective, and I'm just very happy and honored to call you guys friends and colleagues, and let's do it again next year. Let's have fun.
What are you riding?
I am riding the Tiger Glide.
Tiger
so
Glide.
aptly named by my good friend Paul Yaffe. 2019. You did. You did name it. Yes.
And what colors? What colors?
Take a wild guess.
Mauve and teal.
Exactly. Black and orange, of course. And I actually took that same design, and it's now on my new trailer. So I'm super excited for that. But yeah, I'm riding a Tiger Glide, a 2019 custom Yaffe road ride. Last year I rode an FXR that Jason built, Deadwood Custom Cycles, and I'm now contemplating, after looking at that Harley outside, that ST, maybe doing something else next year. So anyway,
Thank you for sponsoring this.
Yeah.
thank you for allowing me to say
And we're still, I mean, all honestly, we're all still waiting for our sponsorship check, so any day.
checks in the mail.
Okay, good, thank you.
Ask Nick and Paul. They got
I'm going to call an attorney.
Ask them for a hat.
That's right.
So moving on from Jeff's request for a check, a man that needs absolutely no introduction, in all honesty, probably unlike a lot of us, was born into custom motorcycles and has probably forgotten more about custom motorcycles than most people will know in their life. Corey Ness.
Thanks, Jason. I'm way too heavy. But anyway, I'm thankful to be here. Jeff kind of said, hey, you got to do this. We should do some diggers and stuff, which is kind of our soul from the Nest family. The old, 7/8 tube frames. That's, although it may not be the most fun bike to ride down a hill,
Or up a hill.
but as far as the styling and stuff, it just kind of it's our heart and soul. So that was a good way to push me in the right direction. Thank you for doing that, Jeff. But anyway, I started with actually one of our old 7/8 frames from over 40 years ago that was brand new. All the big twin ones were gone, so I built a Sportster.
Very cool.
Even better. You still got the fixtures from?
No, but we've done repops on some other stuff, but that means. but anyway, so I made it extra special. It's fun, fun doing the old stuff. You know, the real narrow digger styling, and that's kind of where my dad started. And yeah, it's kind of a special place in our heart. So yeah, so made it a lot of fun, and I do have a road glide here like Jeff. If I did pull it out. Oh,
no, his digger does run.
Oh, that's right.
We've seen Corey ride his.
I don't know. You're right.
No, come on, you've been running. Got to do it.
I get 2 words, Friends Throwdown.
Good point, Brian.
Right.
Bitch. What? I'm glad to hear everybody here. I love everybody's work here. Good friends, talented builders, and it's a good reason to get away from your everyday work product stuff, which I love too. But this is where our soul is, right? Mm-hmm. And
cheers.
I'm glad to be part of it. Thank you.
And then, by the way, Corey's fucking bike? Fuck.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah, thank you.
Corey gets the award for the best pre-photos and hashtagging.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've been watching you build all the way from the beginning. Lots of us are like, oh, it's a week away, we should post it.
I was saying, when you're on the subject, I mean, Paul, what year is this for you in business?
33.
Right, and Corey, what about you and your family?
54.
Brian?
27.
Nick?
25.
This is my 25th. I mean, God, you've been doing this same. I mean, we got a lot of years of doing this, and we don't do it because we're making tons of money. We're doing it because we love it.
Because we have to eat.
Yeah, I mean, so there's that. But I mean, it keeps you coming back.
Yeah, I had a trucking company that paid for me to have a motorcycle.
But you gotta admit,
Don't we always say, like, if you want to make $1 million in the motorcycle industry,
Start with 2.
And so next we're going to Steve Reed, Steve's Garage. Steve was a crasher on the FXR Throwdown. Prompted, I would say, by Brian, and Brian Clock does not take no for an answer, and prompted by Brian, showed up with a gorgeous FXR and then showed up with a gorgeous chopper, and now you're back in the secret Friends too. What's that?
They did a photo shoot out there on it.
Oh.
So fast we didn't see it.
Yeah. It was good visible.
so actually, you had a feature in Cycle Source, right?
Yeah.
Covered bike.
Yeah, last month.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Thanks for.
We ended up getting a ton of the bikes last year. We got most everybody in video and Friends.
Lady Crasher?
Oh. Well, so Steve Reed and from Steve's Garage in northern Kentucky, just south of Cincinnati. 3rd year, I really tried my best. I came about a week short of getting my bike done, so that's why we have some healthy ribbing.
I feel it. I wasn't here last time.
Oh, now we do.
At least Steve showed up.
Oliver did a great photo shoot with my bike. I was standing there. There's nothing in front of me. We said that's why it's a secret throwdown. So I got my share of ribbing this afternoon.
So it's still a secret.
It's still a secret. But what I did this year is I had so much fun with the first FXR, and Brian actually got me FXRs in my blood now. So this year's build was an FXR, the 84 frame. We dropped a 103 touring engine in it, belted a little bit. Took a narrow glide front end, put the 49 millimeter front ends on it, and custom made some Invader style wheels. When it does get put together, finished, which will be a Jason show.
I was going to say, bring the Jason show.
Someday,
will be,
or May 25th, shameless plug.
it will be debuted at Jason's show, but had a great time doing it. But again, I think it's been said a few times here, the camaraderie. I could never get a hold of Jeff because you were on the phone with him all the time. So Brandon answered my phone calls.
He was calling me about
Well, we
next
talked in Louisville. Yes, we did spend some time at the drag show.
He's trying to figure out how to start a panic.
Yeah. I was trying to show him how to
I'm
wire
still
an
kicking
ignition.
it. I got a bad hip now. I do a lot of phone calls and say, hey, I ran into this. What did you do? One of the guys that isn't here this year, Tom Kiefer. Tom's doing an M8 conversion. So Tom and I spent a lot of time on the phone going, okay, here's how I did this. How did you do it? And bouncing things off each other. It's just camaraderie. It's fantastic. But what I do have to say before I finish here is I didn't get the bike done. I was about a week out. I'm talking to Brian saying, things happen and I'm just not going to make it this year. I'm so disappointed. He, as typical Brian fashion, says, Steve, buy a damn plane ticket, get out there, I will bring you a bike so you can ride with us. And that meant so much to me because I do love this event and just being hanging out with you guys. So Brian, once again, thank you so much.
Well, that's a nice segue because in the beginning of FXRs and this whole, the genesis of this whole thing, we were trying to figure out what to call it because it wasn't a build-off, it wasn't a competition, it wasn't anything like that, and so we just kind of put it out to the group of what to call it, and Brian is actually the guy, Brian Clark, came up with the name, well, let's call it the FXR Friends Throwdown. And it made perfect sense. It was a perfect description, and so in the history books it shall be written, the ID, Brian Clark, did so nameth the throwdown. And
It's pretty good like that.
I think so.
Yeah. You could probably do like Hamlet or some shit like that.
Okay. The next guy that's been here since the beginning, that saw the call out on Instagram and said, wait a minute, I'm an FXR guy too, and I want to be involved with it. What we could collectively call the king of windshields. But Brian's not just the king of windshields, he's also an inventor. And I would like for him to talk about his involvement in the throwdown.
Well, it's obviously a throwdown, and I just said it earlier, because you two, Paul and Jason, started talking crap on Instagram, and I jumped in the middle of it, and I said, I want to play. I have a bike sitting over here that needs to be finished as well. My ears there. Yeah, so I mean, you're holding this stuff, 20 years I had that row frame, right? 10 years I had that great Paul Yaffe rigid that I did last year,
The classic.
Thank you.
I didn't say anything. And so as I'm sitting here right now, and I just walked in, and Doc gives me his chair. I mean, Doc's instrumental, and he'll tell his own story about last year because Rick, it's my dad's birthday today. He died last year, but I will never forget the day you called me coming down the interstate and said, Brian, it's going to hail. What do I do? I said, where are you at? You told me the mile marker. I said, you're 1 mile from my dad's shop. Turn off the interstate. You turned off the interstate, you came pulling into one end of the building with this flamed out, flame-throwing, crazy-ass semi, honking the horn, pulling all the way through the building, and all the farmers in a town of 350 people were standing there because they're watching rain. And here comes Rick, right? And so when you can joke around about your trucking company, but that's a relationship, right?
Right.
And I get to sit here by Corey Ness, and Corey, I remember you and John Borneman riding your FXRs down Main Street. Actually, I think John had an FXR and you had a white supercharged Softail with matching Oakley sunglasses. You had white, he had blue. You had matching Reebok shoes or something like that. I was a fan.
That's right.
They were stopping traffic all the way down Main Street. And I'm like,
Was it their looks or the bikes?
No, I was selling spark plugs.
Gunshots.
The bottom line is I was lucky enough to be there on the sidelines watching, okay? And I will never forget the day I was at the Drag Specialties, my first ever MVP event, and I'm across from Corey Ness, and I'm like, oh my God, his dad Arlen has never been anything but nice to me. I don't even know what to say. And Corey came across the aisle and said, I wish I would have thought of that windshield. That's a damn good idea. You're gonna kill it. And I'm like, yep, they only told me I'm ever gonna make 500, And he's like, no, I'm telling you, you're gonna kill it. This is a home run. And so to have that vote of confidence sometimes just from the people in this group, whether you didn't finish your bike or like Rick, all the things that happened last year, to have Doc Smoot come into my shop and give me the confidence that we can actually be active on an emergency scene if we need to be is a treat. And I would have met him without the Friends Throwdown. So for me, it's about this.
So Brian, I mean, when you were in diapers watching Corey ride by, I mean, how does it feel? I was in diapers too.
Are you talking about how old Corey is?
I'm sorry. I thought you were that young. Am I wrong?
Bottom line is, Corey was building more cool shit when he was 10 years old than probably most of us.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
And this is a good opportunity because Brian
a
opened
wicked mustache.
Brian opened up the door to talk about Doc Smoot, Doc Dustin Smoot, standing right behind Brian Clock. Introduce yourself, Doc.
I'm Dustin Smoot. I'm a trauma surgeon by training, and I have hardly addiction.
Hey, Doc, can you tell us what you just did recently that you told me earlier?
No.
Sure can.
But you've been talking about what happened last year.
Yeah, so for me, it's all about the brotherhood and the sisterhood that comes with this. I'm not a bike builder. I'm on my 4th bike with Jason now. I just really love his stuff.
And we're not slowing down. You can keep on going.
And he lets me come into his shop. And I know nothing about mechanical stuff. I can crack your chest open and restart your heart in the trauma bay. I can fix your gunshot wounds. I can take your gallbladder
Thank
out.
God. Can you fix a liver?
I can.
We're all going to need help with the liver in the morning.
But on my weeks off, Jason takes the time. He lets me come in, and you know, it doesn't matter what we're working on. He takes the time to teach and let me get the hands-on. I mean, that's how it starts. I know more about motorcycles today than I did, you know, even 3 weeks ago, because Jason lets me come into the shop, lets me hang out, figure things out. We built a chopper last year, put part of that motor together. He had me on the lathe, God help him, a little bit. So some of those parts I had a part in. He had to fix them, but I had a part in starting them. But yeah, last year on the ride we had an unfortunate event where, yes, the term crasher took a whole different meaning.
Literally.
How would you stop?
But yeah, we had to do a trauma evaluation on the ride.
A couple of them.
Yeah, and everybody was fine. It all turned out, but
And now we have a trauma surgeon that rides with us everywhere.
There you go.
Hey, this is Chris with Cycle Source Greasing Gears TV, and this is your product spotlight. Today's product spotlight comes in from Clockworks, Mitchell, South Dakota. I'm here with Mr. Brian Clock, and we're looking at the flare windshields for the Indian Challenger.
What you see here is just a smattering of the colors. All the colors are not in yet, but we don't want to wait. We want to make sure that, breaking news, greasing gears. We want people to see it. The bronze colors were so popular in the Lowrider ST Harley-Davidson series, right? But then we also built the Jack bike, and the Jack bike was gold and bronze and all those colors, right? So while this looks like a dark smoke windshield, when you actually hold up to the light, and I don't know if the camera's catching that or not, but you can see it's bronze. It's definitely the bronze color. And so you want it to look dark smoke, but you kind of want to have that tint of bronze. We got you, right? These colors are all referred to as ice. If you're shown a light through an ice cube, kind of like that would look like.
It's actually crazy. They look like they look like
It looks like it's lit. This is not lit, okay? So no matter what angle you hold this at, it looks like you fluorescently lit this, okay? And so we've got yellow, orange, and green. You can see the edges of them and how they light up. We have a blue ice in the Harley side and a red ice, which actually is almost magenta looking. This is legitimate red. Oh. This is probably one of the hottest selling colors we have. You cannot keep this thing in stock on any front. And these colors are just real colors. Blue, this purple looks great up against any light, right? And so it's the 8-inch windshield for Challenger. They sell for, I don't know, somewhere around $259.
You know, how is there a flare?
Flare windshield 101.
Yeah.
2006, we did the Discovery Channel Biker Build-Off. We're the only one to ever build a bagger for that show, okay? Out of that, I said, I want to build something you could drag race, something you could take to Bonneville, something you could really use. We did that, and my ex-wife Laura was the pilot, and the bike wobbled horribly. All the way home, all I could think of was, I'm not cut out to be a good dad to Erica and Carly without Laura. I need to make sure that she's here. I got to make sure she's safe. I had my hand out the window, and we've all played the game. This makes your hand go up. This makes your hand go down, right? Well, this is your hand ever so slightly curved, putting a little bit of downforce on the front of your bike. This is the part that's patented. This is the thing that Clockworks invented, Clockworks owns. Yes, there's a million flip windshields, and everybody goes, oh, I get it. It just kicks the air up and over you. Yeah, that's not really the deal. The deal for us is the aerodynamic downforce along with the style. That matters to me.
And that all came actually from wind tunnel testing.
Yeah,
you guys
we went to Mooresville, North Carolina, where they test all the NASCAR stuff. There's an A1 wind tunnel just for NASCAR, and the other one's called A2. They test everything in there from top speed pedal bikes to, drag race cars to rails to windshields for motorcycle people.
Awesome. Right on. So get over to Get Clock today to see this product, everything else that they have, amazing array of products. And until next time, this is Chris with your product spotlight.
One thing that Doc didn't mention is that he's got a son, Corbin, who is chomping at the bit to get into motorcycles, and we've got plans for his son's first bike. And so we're going to keep that tradition alive. We're going to keep it going. We're going to carry it on to the next generation.
That's what I think is cool. So I don't know if my wife's going to let me build another bike, yeah.
Purses.
He's 10, right. He's 10 years old, and we already planned to find a flapped out bike that we're just going to tear down the bare bones, and he's going to learn everything about how every bolt goes into it, how every part of that motorcycle works, and then it'll be his. He'll love it.
That's awesome. That's great.
Carrying it on.
What you guys coming up with this idea, and I meant to say this earlier, and what it spawned in the industry. Like, there's lots of guys that have done similar things.
That's all good, yeah. Different
But I mean,
demographics and stuff we're all doing.
But it's still cool.
great.
Like,
Yeah,
it
it's great.
started here, and then like 2 years later, it was like an FXR thing, and it was like, oh, that looks familiar.
Wonderful.
It's so awesome.
Yeah, and I got
I'm
actually.
a little jelly. I want to be on that FXR.
I actually got asked
Can you put a word in
about
for me,
that.
John? I want to be on that tour.
I got asked about that. Somebody asked me if we would be upset because there was something similar to Throwdown going, and then there was this other ride, and it was FXRs and it was Sportsers, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Absolutely not. I mean,
This is riding to Board through Texas. I want to.
yeah, no. I mean,
Be a crasher.
It's about motorcycles. It's about motorcycles. No way. I'm going to introduce the next guy. Years and years and years ago, we worked together in the same shop. Well, I don't want to say he worked for me. I say we worked together because we had a lot of fun, and we taught each other, a bunch of stuff. But the son of the father-son combination of Big Rick Hoffman, Brandon Hoffman.
Right on, Brandon.
Piggyback off of what everybody's been talking about. I went out to Sturgis my first time when I was 16. So that was 22 years ago. Like very early in some of you guys' business ventures and stuff, and to see the people that I was idolizing, as a 16-year-old going out there, grow and be so prosperous, and then to be sitting here, as an adult with my own kids, and it's just awesome. Can't kind of get me choked up talking about it, but this was. I had a lot of fun doing this. Finishing the bike that Mike started meant a lot to me because I You know, obviously Mike and my dad were really, really good friends. We spent a lot of time together. Actually had his picture from his eulogy in the toolbox, and I talked to Mike every day I was working on that bike. I was talking to him. Like, what the hell were you thinking of this? Or what do you think of this? You know what I mean? Trying to see where he was going, you know, with points and all kinds of different things that he had, you know, and trying to follow his flow and do right by him and build the bike. And, you know, my other bike was my family, everybody. You know, my wife polished my exhaust. My wife polished my air cleaner.
Keep that personal.
Yeah. Hold on. And she didn't get
Really? Would you control him?
But I want to break in because
Have you ever run a DA grinder like upper forearm? Have you ever done that?
so, anyways, he was talking about, you know, his son, Colton. Colton is really getting into bikes and helping like he's talking about. Colton made everybody a set of
this is
Throwdown.
Coasters. A set of 4 drink.
Everybody made a set of 4 coasters that he did himself. So.
He didn't tell me he was doing it either.
Yeah,
he asked how many people were going to be in it, so he showed up with a huge box of coasters one day, and he's like, I made this for everybody. So he made 20 sets.
So on that note, to give credit, right? It takes crazy women like Susie and Heather and me and of course, you know, Christine and everyone, Charlie, all of them, right? To support men like you, and we love you guys for it, and we hope you guys continue to do it.
Lastly, I just want to say that I really appreciate everything from you guys, and you know, appreciate being part of your lives and you guys being part of mine.
Glad you admire all them.
It's been a long time.
That's why I stopped at Adam.
And we're moving on to
He didn't have your picture.
Joey, who a bunch of us met about 10 minutes ago, or I mean 10 minutes before we started.
But still a very important
ShopTalk. But I will tell you this, any friend of Paul Yaffe, friend of mine, welcome to the Throwdown. You are a crasher.
Yep.
Talk to us.
Okay, so my name is Joey Barella. I'm from Pueblo, Colorado, and I don't consider myself a bike builder, but I've admired a lot of you guys. I've grown up watching a lot of you guys do what you do, and I've been talking with Paul through the process of restoring my FXR. Last
What
year.
app was it that you met?
I think it was
Grindr.
Was it Grindr?
It was meetaginger.com.
Right. So yeah, we linked up. We were, talking about, he was helping me out, outsourcing parts, or just giving me advice on certain things. Previously, I'd met Brian. I've known Curtis. Like everybody said, I've used all these guys' parts. I look up to a lot of these guys. So when I was talking with Paul and he invited me to be a crasher, it was an opportunity of a lifetime that I couldn't pass up. And I am a little bit overwhelmed because, like I said, I've grown up watching all these guys, and it's an honor to be in your presence. So thank you for having me.
We're glad you're here. I think that about sums up what the Throwdown's about. Would you say?
Absolutely.
What did you bring?
I brought a 92 FXR convertible.
Nice.
Yep, it's did a frame off,
it's
resto
beautiful.
mod.
Yeah.
Kind of, I admire what you brought because that's kind of my style. I like the stock aspect of it, but I wanted to throw in a few things. So you'll see it out there.
Very cool.
I added a few of my own little touches, and
Right on.
yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome.
Well, thank you.
Great. My bike has Hoffman carbon fiber bags and fender and a Clockworks FXRP fairing, and I think the bike that I built is what everybody expected Curtis Hoffman to build.
That's what I said to you.
And I know I told you that. So let me.
I apologize.
And when I saw Curtis's Throwdown bike a week ago at the Donnie Smith show. And I have to be honest, I was fucking blown away.
Very nice.
I was blown away. And that's for what you started with, I cannot believe that's what you ended up with. But Curtis Hoffman, Hoffman Designs, talk
So, Curtis, will you ever buy a battery cable from Napa again?
Yes. You gotta tell us. You gotta tell us. You did it. All right. So.
Napa has those.
Napa was closer.
Wow.
Not a future sponsor.
So I was one of the first guys with this. So we did our FXR that a handful of you guys gave me shit about because I ripped apart the bike all you guys wanted to buy from me.
Oh, God. That police.
I just want to do it parts.
I still have them. They're still sitting there. I think Joey wants them too. And
Well, me and Joey are
Joey.
we're gonna get in a bidding war over that. I can see it already.
For me, business has gotten busy like all of us, right? And things shift, things change, and you get out of the shop more than you want to be. You're in the office and things like that. So it was kind of that thing of, absolutely, I'm 100% in. This is going to give me a reason to get back in the shop and build a bike. And it'd been like almost 10 years since I built an FXR when we did the FXRs. So I was beyond excited to do that. Super happy with what I did with that. Last year for the choppers, I was ridiculously excited and built my version of a chopper, and great help doing that. It unfortunately didn't make it, and we were a week late on it, so didn't make it out here. I think we ended up getting it fired the last day of Arizona Bike Week last year, and so I was that far behind. And this year I was, you know what? I'm not missing it. It's Secret Friends Throwdown. Everybody's expecting me to build a performance bagger, and not necessarily that I want to redeem myself because I completely missed the Chopper Friends Throwdown. I wanted to build the spawn in my brain from last year's that I didn't make it here. And we've got new guys in the shop that are incredibly talented, and we pulled it off in 9.5 weeks. We built that bike.
Nice.
And we had massive issues with it when it was finished, all leading down to a battery cable. And they put a battery cable in it, and here we are. So I love it. I'm happy with it. It's you guys will see it. It started as a 2017 Road King. So, and hopefully my goal was kind of bring the new technology into the chopper style and stance and things like that. So got to ride it today for the first time, and I'm ready to rip it down the mountain.
I think you nailed it.
Thank you.
That's what this is all about, is trying to get the stuff done and work.
Well, the amount of people that
last year,
3 times in a row.
Last year, his wife was putting his bike together in the back of the van on the way out here, and everybody jumped in and worked on everybody's bikes. It was a great time that everybody worked to try to make everybody go down that hill.
Yeah, and that's the goal.
That's it. It was,
Steve, we didn't have to go to Flagstaff this year.
That's true.
That's true.
No, there's some guys that were here last year that aren't here this year just because they got busy or they couldn't make it or whatever, but they're still members of this Throwdown family, and maybe they'll show up next year. We got Rick Bray and Xavier and Tom Kiefer, James Spader, Flash, Fred Vanderpeer,
James Spader,
Agents, right? And I see Spader, I don't know whether but yeah, there'll be a few of them. Yeah, there's a few guys that are still.
I mean, one of the first things you said, Paul, too, when I was talking to you on Sunday, you were like, the one thing I'm not going to miss this year is 12 people in my shop fixing bikes that don't run.
Yeah, well.
So that was good. So I just stayed out of the shop this year.
The truth is, I actually missed it. It was kind of fun having them all over the shop.
I will say this though, at Di's show last week, the bike, your chopper and the new chopper you built for this year.
Yeah.
I mean, people really spent a lot of time in your booth. It was very impressive. Both bikes were awesome.
Thank you.
And we're happy that you're here again this year.
Thank you. I did bring a crasher with, so he's going to ride with us. My buddy Grady. So he helps out huge, kind of like Doc. He's not a part of the industry, but loves custom motorcycles, and he's the only one allowed in my shop that doesn't work there, that can just go in the shop and do what he needs to do. So he's a younger guy that
until you're on the phone with you, and then you hear, "Where the hell's my goddamn wrench?" Grady was here.
True.
And it wasn't put back. I remember.
Well,
that.
see,
Grady, it's okay, I get it.
The 3/8 go to the left and the quarters go to the right.
The OCD.
Always takes one.
So, you have been,
Jason, we have a couple bike shows coming up also. Are the bikes going to be at the bike shows? All the bikes? Everyone bring Paul's.
I'll push mine there.
well, so this week, this week in Cave Creek, there's a bunch of bike shows. There's the Yaffe Motorcycle Mixer, there's the Nick
That's
Trask
tomorrow.
Performance. Yep, it's probably not gonna air by tomorrow, but there's a Nick Trask Performance bike show. There's a bunch of bike shows, but if this does happen to make it on the interweb and you are near Arizona, you're near Phoenix, you're near Cave Creek, get here. But wait a minute.
Well, what's today? Let's
Stop for a second. I am the host of the show.
Do a shameless plug.
I am the host of the show today, brought to you by Dennis Kirk and Law Tigers. But I will say that I am not going to let him speak from over there. I'm going to get your real host of...
Yeah, come on in, Chris.
Yeah, get over here. We're going to talk about the first thing that pops up. Heather, we're good. Oh, Heather, go ahead.
I want to know what 2025 theme is because Vanessa and I want to crash it.
Nice. All right. So.
You see Brian's face?
Let's get through the next 5 minutes before his leg gets numb.
But anyway,
That's too much to ask for.
yeah, it's a lot. But listen, your original host, your creator, Digger.
Yes.
Let me get through this. Your original host, the creator of ShopTalk, Chris Callan, Cycle Source Media, Cycle Source Magazine. Welcome.
Thank you.
Also inducted into the Hamsters this year.
And the Hall of Fame.
And the Hall of Fame.
And he's got Grease and Gears TV too.
I have my shirt in the truck.
Nice.
Just saying.
All right. Hi, Dave.
The first year that I came to this, I was so excited because in all my time on motorcycles, and I am strictly like motorcycles, other than this stuff that you guys see me do, I'm virtually unemployable. So this is it.
I got a job for you.
I hear you guys talking about other things that you could do for more money.
I'm right there with you.
This is it. But this was the first time that I had a motorcycle that was fit for something somebody was doing, and I was so excited to come here. It was immediately infectious, like being around everybody and everything that went on, and the stops on the side of the road, and like the ride, the everything was so cool. And it's not even like there's, like Brian and I were talking, at the end there's no big, parade down Main Street and people cheering or anything. We kind of all just get to town, it all just breaks up and everybody goes their own way. But it's such an important thing that FOMO was killing me. Watching all you guys posting and knowing that we're so busy this year we couldn't be here. And Brian sees this, my good friend, and steps in and he goes, hey, he said, why don't you just throw your stuff in the truck? We'll make sure you have a bike. His whole crew, Vanessa, everybody, like, they just made it impossible for me not to be here. So I owe that to Brian.
Nice. We're glad you're here.
So why were you so late? Brian has a way of not taking no for an answer.
Hey.
Have you noticed that?
Speaking of which, Ryan, are you out there? I can't see by the light. Come over here. So, unfairly, come here, hurry up.
Come on.
We gotta wrap this up. We gotta go to dinner.
Yeah, we're late for dinner.
Bottom line is, Ryan, just sit right there in front of Big Rick on the floor. Get over here so we can see you.
Sit on his lap.
Okay, Ryan was here the first year and rode my Quicksilver FXR from 2010 and jammed it down the hill, no problem. Last year, and it was never an official crasher, we just brought him along, right? And last year, he rode my Road Glide with Michael Lichter backwards on it all the way down the hill, did the whole thing, right? Michael called this year and said, I'm not going to be able to make it, but if I would, I want Ryan to drive me around because that kid is so super solid.
Good boy.
So, bottom line is, on the way here, I said, only makes sense to ride with us tomorrow. Are you cool with that? And Sheldon's like, yeah, I'll take the truck down the road. Ryan should ride because he's been doing it now all 3 years. And so Ryan's an unofficial crasher who's already looking forward to whatever you're going to call out next year. And he said, I'll be damned if I'm not going to build something for next year. So there you go. It's about teaching him, about saying, okay, here's how I built this FXR, and I want you to jam down the hill in it, right?
Yes, sir.
You talked to me about road glides, all the things, and all of a sudden you got crazy into FXRs.
Yes, sir.
It's about good humans. All of you are amazing humans.
Thank you. Nick, do you want to start in Winslow next year?
Nick, did you see Chris's shoelaces?
Hey, did you bring the doctor ones?
Good on mine. All right, so no rules, just right. As easy it would be for all of us to sit here and shoot the shit all night, they're probably going to start losing. They're going to start losing viewers here if we don't just wrap this up and summarize it. But we're going to turn it over to.
Real quick, I want to thank, like, even Paul offered to lend me his motorcycle from last year to ride. You stepped right up, you and Ari, to make sure that we're having this program at all, so that, you know, all this could go on even when you didn't think I was going to be here. So thank you guys for that. Thanks for keeping this tradition right here, the round table part of this. This is the thing I was worried about missing the most. You know, the ball busting, the good camaraderie that goes on. It's the best part of it. So thank you.
The viewers are actually wondering where my left hand is right now.
And on that note, let's see.
Tune in to ShopTalk next week.
Same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Bye, Felicia.
What did you say?
Except be more like Chantine. What's her name? Chantel. I was trying to get it all in one run. I didn't make it.
You're thinking about the chicken.
I'm thinking about the greens myself. To tell you the truth.